So one of the topics people always ask me about when it comes to negotiation, influence, and persuasion is how to get buy-in from senior leaders. So if you're running a country, maybe you're a country manager, a GM, maybe you're a regional vice president, sales director, and you need to get exec level buy-in, here are 7 things you need to do to get buy-in from senior leaders, the exec level. So I think the first thing to call out is all of this requires a strategic approach. When you're thinking about the exec level, getting buy-in, it requires a strategy. And so number 1 is to lead with the big picture. You can't just go in and say, I think we should be doing this. Why do you think we should be doing this? You've got to zoom out. You've got to lead with ROI, decreasing risk, increasing profitability, give them something impact-wise. What is this going to do for the business? Give them the why. Lead with the big picture. Don't just say what you want to happen. I think we should start hiring more people, or I think we should invest in this tool. No. Why? It's going to decrease cost by 20%. It's going to improve ROI by 20%. We're going to get a better leads. We're going to get a higher quality of X, right? You've got to lead with that big picture. So framing things around your ROI, around decreasing risk, increasing leverage, giving it some numbers, giving it some meat, giving it some revenue impact, really important when it comes to the execs that you're going to get buy-in from. And number 2, feeding into this is really about speaking their language. The execs care about data. They care about these metrics. They care about business outcomes. So the way to get buy-in is to align what you want with the company metrics. What does the company care about? And how does what you want to happen align with those KPIs, values, mission, ROI, whatever it is your company's going for, KPIs, revenue, business outcomes. Align what you want to those outcomes. Number 3, you should anticipate and expect objections. So don't walk into the CEO's office, CRO's office, CFO's office and present your case and think you're not going to get pinned on something. You should anticipate and expect objections and have answers for them. You should talk around competitor insights to back up your case, to show how this is going to happen. Bring case studies. I've seen this work in this company. I've seen this. Look at what they did. They did this, and this was the outcome. And this is how I think it can translate for us. Really think about the objections that they might say. CFO, cost. CEO, strategy. CRO, KPIs, business impact, quarterly reports, short-term revenue impact. Think about the objections you're going to get and the pushback you're going to get and go with answers. Go prepared, ready to give them confidence around those objections with your answers. So the aim of the game there is just to be ready, to be prepared, to show that you're proactive, that you came to play, that you've got answers, and that you've thought it through, because that's going to progress the conversation. And it actually gives them more confidence in what you're saying and what you're suggesting. Because remember, you want buy-in from them. And so they need to feel like you've thought this through. Number 4, now this is a big one. Be concise. I think this is the biggest, actually. This is where most GMs, vice presidents, directors, they go off a little bit because they start speaking and execs don't have time. Execs don't have time for that rambling context. Be concise. Have a structure to what you're saying. Articulate the problem and the opportunity, the solution, the impact, and then finally the next steps, what needs to happen. And keep to that structure. Keep it concise, tight, nicely packaged in a structure and deliver it. Cut the fluff. That's my top tip here. Really do cut the fluff when you're speaking to execs. They're time poor. They don't need long-winded explanations. Number 5 is use social proof to influence. So don't forget, there's other people in the organization that can fight your cause as well. And so bringing them into the conversation, having them persuade and influence from different perspectives can also help. So get buy-in from other stakeholders and have them use that as social proof. And you can use examples from internal examples that have worked in different departments and externally as well. Companies that your company aligns to or might want to be like. Companies they respect. If you can showcase how that's worked well or what you're proposing has worked well in other companies or even internally in different departments, it's going to give you that credibility. And what I would say on this is find the people that the company respects. In any company, there's that top layer. I don't mean by authority, I mean There's those gems that the people go to within an organization that they rely on. And it's usually those 2 ICs. It's those individuals that you know that they're worth their weight in gold. If they were to leave, it would cause a huge problem because they're invaluable. Those are the people that you need to convert to be champions to your cause, because having their buy-in, they're respected within the organization, and therefore it goes a long way to supporting your cause and your case. Number 6, remember, we're trying to get buy-in here, but we're also trying to move things forward. If you're responsible for a department, a team, maybe you want to progress in a different direction, you need to have a clear call to action. So don't just say, let me know your thoughts about this. Say, can I execute this? Have I got approval to go and carry this out? Really be clear and go with a call to action in mind. What are you asking for in this meeting? What is the call to action? What do you want a yes or no to? What do you want approval on? That's going to help you progress, but it's also going to bring clarity to the conversation so that you know where you stand and that you've actually angled this and influenced this to get to a point, because you're going to uncover more information. They might be like, I've got to table this at the next exec meeting. That's next Tuesday. I'll bring this up on the agenda and I'll get back to you on Wednesday morning. If that happens, you know to then follow up on Wednesday morning. And so by having a clear call to action, it's going to help you progress this conversation and the next steps. And number 7, and this is all about influence, and this can work anywhere. This is the biggest tip when it comes to influence. Center your pitch around why it matters to them. Okay, you've got to show you understand their priorities in anything when you're trying to influence someone. If you can lead with showing them that you understand their priorities and you understand what matters to them, you're going to get buy-in much faster. For example, if you're talking to a CRO, don't just say this will enhance productivity, say this will help us hit our Q3 revenue numbers. It's much more speaking to their language and to their priorities, to what matters to them. And so showing that you've understood that, framing your pitch, crafting it around those priorities is a winning strategy to influence. And that goes for anything. This isn't just about exec level influence and getting buy-in here. In any negotiation, in any conversation that you're looking to influence, framing what you want to happen around what matters to the other person is always going to lead you to a very strong outcome. It's going to increase the likelihood and it's going to build leverage and influence into your case. And so I'm going to leave you with those 7 to digest. Comment if you've used any of these in your strategies when you're talking to execs and getting buy-in from senior level stakeholders. Let's share as a group what's worked for you. Like and subscribe to this video so that the message gets spread across the world. Have you ever felt stuck? Like your life is just in a holding pattern? Like you know where you want to get to, but you just can't seem to make any moves to get there? Well, I've got something that I've built for you. It's called the School of Success, and it's a series of short courses that you can take to get high impact and high leverage skills under your belt so that you can start accelerating towards the life you really want. I put my heart and soul into this because it's what I love. It's my passion. This is my purpose on this planet, to help you achieve your big goals, dreams, and desires, to see that big vision come to fruition, to be able to expand your wealth. And so that if there's one course I recommend you take, it's the Highly Skilled Negotiator course. Head on over to timjscastle.com and check it out for yourself. This is the #1 high leverage skill that you can learn today, especially with all the disruption around AI and new technologies that are coming in. You're going to want to learn how to negotiate, because that's all about human connection, and it's only going to rise in value. So as you walk into these negotiations, you can feel prepared, confident, and ready to roll out the art of negotiation, to become that expert negotiator, become that person that's relied upon in the business to handle those commercial decisions, to take those negotiations and to create more value, connection, and relationships, to build your brand on top of that. So the Highly Skilled Negotiator on timjscastle.com is where you want to hang out, and that's within the School of Success. That's my online course layer of my business, and it's all for you there. There's added value to high quality content, tons of lessons, all about skill development. So I'm just putting that out there. I recommend you go check it out. timjscastle.com.